Hello and welcome. Today I would like to talk to you about 5 things that I'm hoping for in Point 4 Last of the Druids Path of Exile 2, baby. A lot of people have asked me to make Path of Exile 2 content, and the season of Path of Exile 2 is starting, so here is your content. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Halsey. I do a lot of delving in Path of Exile 1. There's been a lot of speculation that Path of Exile 2 will have delving. Personally, I don't think it will, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is the things that I want to see, not necessarily the things that will happen. And stay tuned, because at the end, I'm going to show you my bingo card, hard mode. It's not an easy bingo card. We'll see what we end up hitting on it for the Last of the Druids. The first thing that I hope to see, and I think this one will actually happen, which is a new ascendancy method. This ascendancy method makes me want to quit the game. I have never been a Sanctum enjoyer, never ever, even though I tried, trust me, I tried, and I hated it. I have beaten the last boss in Trial of the Sigmas. I have put the effort and time in, I hate it. I think the fact that you need energy shield for Trial of Sigmas sucks. I think having a bar that's not your health bar but acts like your health bar, but if your health bar goes down you still lose, sucks. The new trial that I hope they put in Last of the Druids, please be Toda, please be Toda, please be Toda, please be Toda. I loved Toda. Toda, Trial of the Ancestors, I would wake up every morning early at 6 a.m. and play Trial of the Ancestors. I didn't even know how to play the game at that point. I had barely seen a divine in my life at that point. That was like my second league. And my god, it was beautiful. And I hope they put it into Path of Exile 2, even more so. I love Toda with all my heart. But what I want more than Toda is an ascendancy method that can replace Trial of the Sigmas. That's right, my hatred for Trial of the Sigmas outweighs my wish for Toda. I hope that they allow you to take 2 different ascendancy paths instead of forcing you into this one. At this point, I've gotten pretty good at the first floor for Trial of the Sigmas, but I'm desperately hoping that I no longer have to do it, because that would just make me so happy. I don't expect it to replace Trial of the Sigmas, but that is my hope and dream for this upcoming Path of Exile 2 league. Now, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 for hopes and dreams of the Last of the Druids League is swords, or axes, preferably axes, but swords would also be good too. Now, if you know anything about me, I like to delve, which means I like to play big tanky characters that do a lot of damage. This build is the Windblast Warrior build. Windblast Titan, which is why I have this cool thing here. And it rules, it rocks, but you know what would be awesome? More awesome is a 2-handed axe. Please, 2-handed swords or 2-handed axes. The fact that this exists, and we do not have these items in the game is actually like the epitome of early access in the worst way, okay? This game is so fleshed out, and yet they don't have swords? They don't have axes? I do know Druid will likely have talismans, which is a 2-handed weapon, and I could be happy with that. That might actually appease me completely. I would still love to unlock new builds for Warrior, and I just know that there would be a sick axe build out there for it. So that is number 2. Number 3 is better completion goals for mapping. I hate aimless mapping. I do not like the Atlas, I'll be honest with you. And I think they've been continually improving it. I'm excited to see, I expect an endgame overhaul coming up here, and I'm excited to see what we get, because this is not doing it for me. My playtime in Path of Exile 2 is actually generally pretty low because I fall off right here. You can see how little of the Atlas I've actually done. It's because I get to maps and then I'm like, what? It's boring. I'm bored. So I'm desperately hoping that they change this significantly. I saw someone on Reddit propose like smaller linear paths, like little offshoots. That could be fun. Here's the thing. I love Delve, like a lot. In the release conversations, they have said, we don't want to add Delve to the game because this is like Delve. And I completely disagree. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about why I disagree, and I have some reasons. What does Delve offer in PoE 1 versus this Atlas offer in PoE 2? Delve offers guaranteed rewards with scaling difficulty. This atlas offers unguaranteed rewards, inconsistent rewards, with controlled difficulty. What I think is fun about Delve is that I would see a node like this, for example, and say to myself, oh, this node is gonna give me a fossil that's worth a divine. Let me make my way over there. And then in the meantime, I get to do all of these things leading up to it that give me not so great items. And that's what makes Delve exciting, is because you're constantly working towards one item, encounter, goal. And this is just exploring for the sake of it. There's nothing to work towards. There's no spot that, like, I think that the citadels are not doing it for me. The reason why Delve is so much more enjoyable for me is because I know that if I do this node in Delve, I will get this outcome. And here, I don't know that these items are going to give me anything besides a map. And a lot of people are speculating that this new Last of the Druids will have Delve. And I will be so happy if they include Delve in PoE 2. I kind of doubt it's coming. I just think it's unlikely that they'll put Delve in the game right now. I expect them to continue playing off this mapping experience until the mapping experience is good. And maybe there is a way that they do Delve that incorporates better with the mapping experience. It's not like a game away from the game. And I do think that if they do bring Delve in, it will be more closely integrated and coupled with the current mapping experience. So do I expect Delve in Last of the Druids? No. But if it does end up in that update, rest assured, I will be cheering along with all of the Delvers. I would be so happy. Regardless, they have to fix whatever this is. This is not doing it for me, and I know it's not doing it for a lot of Path of Exile 2 players. Now I have something that I don't think I've really heard other people talk about, and it is the ability to pause in the options menu. I can pause the game, but once I hit options, I'm still playing. And I'm sorry, but why does it exist like this? How come I can kill enemies with the options open? I should be able to fix my loot filter without having to deal with things walking up to me. Now, I've heard everyone saying that they desperately want fixes for the performance in the game. How are you expected to fix performance if when you're trying to adjust your performance, the game just continues and kills you? That seems insane to me. I desperately hope that they make the game pause while I'm fiddling with this screen. I'm just gonna wrap this into one point. Performance does need an update. Now, I haven't had too many issues with their performance. I think I just have a good PC. The more people can happily play this game on a terrible laptop, the happier I will be, because more people will be playing the game, and this game is fun because everyone plays it. And last but not least, my dream for this game is, please, for the love of God, have an Exalt Sink. Let me put the Exalt somewhere, because this is insane. This actively ruins the game that an Exalt is 2,000 divine. And the reason why this matters is because, one, Exalts are a primary currency, at least at the start of the game. So to have the primary currency at the start of the game become worth less and less throughout the league causes several problems. If you take a break from the game, you are actively falling behind. Your money is actively becoming worse. Now, that's typically true, like in Path of Exile 1, like divines go up throughout the league. However, they go from 100 to 200, typically. In Path of Exile 2, this goes from 200 to 2,000. And that's absurd, especially for more casual players who, oh, maybe I just want to log on and play for a little bit. Too bad, you can't make any progress because you now need 2,000 Exalt to get something done. So all this does is increase league fatigue, it makes it harder for newer players, and it means that now we have a bunch of currency that, like, is useful, but is just accumulating. If we look at how chaos has changed over the course of PoE 1, you can see the divine chaos has been pretty volatile. So it's 153 at the high end, and now it's back to 153. So it starts off like decently low at like 100, and then it goes to 150. So it goes up about 50%. Now, let's take a look at the same thing but for Exalt in PoE 2. Okay, the more you make this graph span a lot of time, the worse it gets. I'm shortening it down because the PoE 1 league is still only a month in, so realistically we should only have about a month worth of data. 100 and now 400 for the same span of time. It's been 4x'd. But if you were to look at the rest of the league, like it went from 100 to 2,000. This should not be happening. This is a very unhealthy economy, and they desperately need to fix this, and I'm hoping that they can fix this so that if you were to take a break from the league, if you were to come back, you still feel like you're able to make progress, your money is still worth something. The devaluation of the Exalt is abysmal. 2 honorable mentions for things I hope for in the league. Implicit movement speed on boots. Why do we have boots in the game that no one uses because they don't have movement speed? If no one is using an item without a stat, it's just creating noise, it's just creating trash, and it doesn't have a reason to exist. I am in the camp of movement speed should be an implicit, or movement speed should scale with your character level. That is something I would love to see, but I also kind of doubt that they'll put that in the game. Now, the last honorable mention I have, as I must advocate for this the way the Reddit has vehemently advocated for this, and it is, why are my Delirium maps depresso, and why don't I have any color in my Delirium maps? I have never farmed Delirium. And you know what? This is literally why. In Path of Exile 1, did I ever farm Delirium? No, because it's gray and it's boring and it sucks. So, in Path of Exile 2, did I think to myself, I should make my maps delirious? No, because it's gray and it's boring and it sucks. And if they spent all this time putting in art and color, then we should be able to experience that. We should be able to have a game that's as beautiful as they made it out to be, instead of just a game that's gray and boring and sad. I hope for justice for people on Reddit, for justice for us. We deserve color in our maps. The last thing I want to mention is my bingo card that's actually difficult. This is just random things that is possible for them to put in the game. Some of them are very easy and straightforward. New enemies is almost definitely going to be in the game. New ascendancy method has been highly anticipated. And some of these are very unlikely, like Act 5 is very unlikely. Some of these can't both exist. New league mechanic that's not in PoE 1 cannot exist with Delve. So, this is an actually difficult bingo card, but this is what I'm going to be using to see what they put in the game, because I think it's fun to explore all the possibilities of what we could see, and what I hope that we do see. So if you want to make your own bingo card or play along, feel free. But I'm super excited for this upcoming league. I think that this game literally just keeps getting better and better. I haven't been able to invest too much time into Path of Exile 2 compared to Path of Exile 1 because I get really bored at the end game, so I'm super excited for them to really revisit the end game and think about what will make it fun for all of us, and I hope to see you all in future PoE 2 content. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great morning, evening, or whatever it is. I will see you all later. Bye!